Hey guys, okay, so a topic I've really wanted to dabble into and I finally have got rid of the majority of it so that I don't embed it into my video. Spiritual ego. It's where, we start to discover ourselves and we're connected. We have this new energy about us and knowing our intuition's stronger when you have that connection, when you're humbling yourself, but you notice I'm gonna dabble right into what spiritual ego can feel like. You're starting to look at people around you like they're not connected. No, they're 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 dealing with demons. That's a big wound right there. I can help them. That's spiritual ego, and I really worked on purging that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Every time I make new connections, I notice that I want my friends to feel comfort when I talk to them and not like I'm brushing them off. Because a lot of times lately when I make new friends and they feel upset that people are acting spiritual or talking spiritual and they're operating from like a wounded place, they just really have an opinion about it, and I try and comfort them. That's why I'm making this video, because I notice I'm trying to comfort a lot of people right now that are talking a little bit too much about other people's paths. And I take this all with a grain of salt because I had to watch like 6 videos on spiritual ego to humble myself enough to make this video. I have a Reiki healer. Whenever I would feel like, oh, people are like attacking me or I'm targeted and I don't know what to do, she would tell me, it's not up to you what people target. It's not up to you to take that on. That's the biggest thing right here. It's not up to us to take on outside energy. That's how we fuck up our peace. That's how we stop protecting our energy and constantly giving advice and wanting to save people. It's just not a part of the path after a certain point. Like, yes, it's so cool that we see these flaws and stuff, but we have to remember my shadow work video. Spirit is giving everything to us as a mirror. When you're on this path, the judgment is always a spiritual practice. We're always having to remain conscious of the way we talk about others, the way we think, and the way we try and help others. Like, yes, 100% have those conversations, get connected, share what you know so that we can all do this together. But to ruin your peace and tell them they're wrong for what they're doing, like, there's no other way I can say it. Just basically trying to correct people and tell them where they're going wrong and what they can do better. Like, it's hard to always live in that state, right? It's really hard. You're always doing energy work, observing others, and it's ego. Ego, remember, it wants to compromise, it wants to correct, it wants to compare. We need to remember those 3 C's: compromise, correct, and compare. Ego really wants to keep you in a low vibrational state where you're spreading your energy and you have none to work on you. It wants to stay in this safe zone, and that's the biggest issue we have right now. Yeah. And no matter how much advice we give people, we are basically giving them, like, they resonate with it and they really want to be at that state. Yes, they really want to be at that peaceful state. But when you start sharing this information with people, I'm just going to warn you, as you go into this and you start to humble your ego, you start having these conversations and your vibration starts lifting and your mind starts clearing and you stop sharing your information, you stop giving yourself away and you start pulling back and you just good, right? You're good. You're protecting your peace now. But be cautious making friends after you do this, because then you'll have people who start to carbon copy the way you work, the way you do your the way you address others, the conversations you have. And you'll be able to notice, because they won't practice it with you, but they'll go and they'll spread it around. You have to protect your peace. That's why I'm saying stop handing out advice. Stop trying to correct people. Stop trying to save people. You can help them change their image for more profitable flow, more business, more traffic, more friendships, more relationships, but you're just training a manipulator. We can't really change people by telling them this stuff. Everyone has their own divine path, and that's where I'm trying to get 555 when I said that. Everyone has their own divine path, and if you feel like you're at a state where you can't really have conversations with people without them becoming carbon copies, but behind the scenes they're still like really in a not peaceful mindset with themselves and others, just, you know, take it easy, pull back, maybe focus more on your work and your healing, your family, go for more jogs, spend some time alone. I noticed that really helped me each time I'd see my friends start to do the things I was talking about with them, but face to face, they were like, my daughter, she's just so much anger. I wish I could take my 50 years of experience and shove it in her. And I was like, oh, but you're like really judgmental. Like, there's people like that. There's people like that who think they are so connected that their age, their wisdom at that age, it's meant for other people. No one's journey, no one's advice, no one's experiences, no one's knowledge is meant for others. Yes, there are divine messengers who can remind you who you are and just show you how to keep your peace, but to tell people how to live constantly, to constantly tell people they're doing wrong, that's not how it works. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're not supposed to be saying you're wrong for sharing this, and so, that's something I battle. Because a lot of the information on YouTube right now about spiritual guides and people who say they're prophets and people who say they're getting messages from God, there are people who are probably directly listening to Spirit, and he definitely is giving those messages, because sometimes I listen to them and the light just lifts off me, or the light just lifts everything heavy off me, and through their video I can feel their energy, and when I see their aura, it's like a white and gold color, and it's fucking beautiful. Those people, you can discern eventually. You guys are connected, especially if you're watching this and you're actually listening to everything I'm saying. You can feel the difference when someone is divine. I'm not going to say connected, because everyone's connected. There's just circumstances, trauma, programming, influences that stop them from seeing it, okay? And I feel like we really need to get this out, because there's a lot of people right now who want to hand out advice. There's a lot of people right now. And okay, I just heard, you're contradicting yourself. I don't want you guys to disturb your peace trying to help other people. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to remind you, everyone might take your advice at first, but eventually they're gonna feel they've listened to you talk to them enough. They're gonna think they know more than you, because they still have the ego. They're gonna take what you're saying and they're gonna disperse it, but they're not gonna live by it. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a brutal one. This is a brutal video, but you know me, I talk my shit and it's truth, okay? And it's for your protection. It's not to say you don't know anything. No, you actually know quite a fucking bit, and you have a lot of people copying your personality, and I'm sick of it. Okay? I'm sick of people coming and just stealing your sunshine, and you feeling depleted, and like you're not getting anywhere with them because they're still talking shit behind the scenes. We have our own path. I wish I could snap my finger. How do you guys do it? Can you show me? I've never been able to snap my fingers. Oh my god. Sorry, my bra's hanging out at the bottom, and it's like, oh, I can't. It's too hot when I start doing intuitive messages. I can't wear covers. That's why you guys see me like in crop tops and stuff. If you don't like tits, get out. I don't think anyone minds them, but you have no option here. Sexual energy is healing, just so you know. Don't go out and be, you know, a fucking... Don't hand the cat out. Don't give out the magic stick, but embrace yourself. And that's another thing. Spiritual ego will have you thinking you can't have nails. You can't do your hair. You can't have makeup. You can't go get your lashes done. You have to be spiritual. Yes, recycle. Yes, please try to be vegan, or at least eat the most natural meat you can that isn't traumatized. Like, go out, get a moose, get an elk, share it with the community like the indigenous do. What you have to be of charity with your community when you go hunting. You can't just hoard it all and make people pay for it. That's greed. That's operating from greed. That's spiritual ego, thinking you're some kind of, like, you know, supplier for the community and they have to give you money for that. Let's refer to church for a second, okay? They're not spiritual. They are. But it's ego, you know what I mean? Like, they're telling you you're a piece of shit for looking at looking at that Louis Vuitton bag. If you have the means and if your bills are paid, I honestly don't see a fucking... Oh, why do I make that face every time? I'm sorry. People, stop messaging me. I have like 13, 15 messages that just came in like 30 seconds. It's been happening all evening. But no complaints. I love my peoples. I love them. But just think about it, like how we're not supposed to go around condemning people like the church. Compare your actions to the church next time you want to hand out advice. Ask yourself first before you go and talk to someone about their actions. Are they going to utilize this, or are they going to... Are they gonna go and execute it and live it out? Are they gonna go practice it, or are they going to use it to lure in people by giving them advice? You know, there are people who are on this journey with you and will take everything you say and like comprehend and absorb and heal and meditate on it. But then there are people who want to be where you are, who love hearing this stuff, but they're not able to live it out. They're not able to understand why you're so fucking chill. They're not able to understand how you could just detach and let go. They don't understand why you don't want to vent. They don't understand why you're not frustrated about other people giving horrible advice, you know, because they feel like they're fixers. And, you know, the thing about these personalities is they probably had people always trying to fix them, work on them, judge them, be mean to them, like having older sisters for one, or having a narcissistic mother or father for two. Like, there's a lot of circumstances we don't know that these people are going through, and we have to take that into factor. And we also, the main thing is we're not God for their life. They're their own God. And he has messages for them to go by. Everyone's journey is so different. Everyone is not going to listen, right? They're going to take the beautiful information and advice you're giving them, the energy that you're giving them, the love, and they're just going to utilize it to make themselves look like they're connected. Just pay attention. Right now is a time of separation for elevation, and right now a lot of people are trying to embody the healing. They're trying to embody it, and I'm not saying they're posers. I'm saying they're scared to do the deep work that you're doing, and you're giving away your energy by just constantly handing out beautiful information, beautiful energy. We gotta stop. You know, and a lot of people take what you're sharing eventually when they think they know enough from you. When they've heard you talk about spiritual ego, probably they'll be like, you're full of yourself. Like, maybe you should just start working on yourself. You still have some issues. They'll turn the tables on you. And that's a part of that, another harsh reality when someone's living in spiritual ego. Or else they'll become defensive when you start giving them more advice. when they were so used to taking what you had to say previous, right? I asked Spirit to give me all the messages for everything, and I'm just out of breath now. Holy fuck. Hold on. This is how you protect your peace. This is how you let go and just let be, right? We cannot save everyone. You're not Captain Save-A-Ho, okay? Those are for the streets. Quit doing that, okay? You're draining yourself. You're hurting yourself. And I don't know, maybe I should go a little further into, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to respect you after they feel like they have enough information. Please understand this. Ask yourself, again, ask yourself, how is this going to help me in my path? Is it going to comfort me knowing I gave this to them, or is it going to annoy me when they go and start sharing this on a platform where I'm watching them behind the scenes and they're still talking crap? I recently disconnected from someone who posts, spread the kindness, listen to spirit, meditate, don't judge people, but behind the scenes, she was judging everyone. And it's hard to not dabble into it for a bit, because I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be able to stay in this calm, detached state all the time, and this is why. Because as things surface, it sits here. Something moved up, and something's bothering you today, and you need to get it out. You need to talk about it, and you're going to be irritated with everyone who is embodying what you need to purge. Remember, you attract what needs to come out. Here's how to stay calm in that moment. Just, okay, if you notice you have an irritated feeling, a sad feeling, like just anything in that day, it's not of where you want to be. It's not where you want to be. It's not how you want to feel. Close your eyes, or just sit there for a minute. If you're at a red light or you're in the grocery store, and just think, do I really want to act this out? Do I really want to respond to this? Is it something I've already learned? Do I want to test the waters? How is this going to affect the rest of my day? Do I need to give this person advice because I just went through this? Is it going to help them, or is it just for me? Always ask yourself, is it for them or is it for me? Well, who is it for? That's a little key on how to do like a little spot of self-work in the moment, because we need self-work constantly, and things are going to come up all the time. And it's really hard to stop listening to people vent. Like, it's just, if you love the people and you want to keep them around, that's the hardest thing, is staying in your element when you have people you love and they are still kind of on their journey in the middle, you know? No one's above one another. Our journeys are like this. There's no one higher, there's no one lower. Yes, there's vibrations, but just because you're on a different vibration doesn't make you a better person than them. Those are wounds keeping them down. Remember that. We got to humble ourselves at all times. We see people acting out in anger and we think they're not very spiritual. They're talking shit about people. They're not very spiritual. It's not very spiritual to go around not being mindful of how we think and see others, right? We'll be humbled greatly. The more we continue to live in this element, we'll be handed people who will straight up tell us, like, why are you so judgmental and you act peaceful? Someone will eventually come and address you, and it will just be a random person on the street, or you'll be handed a really dark energy who reminds you to stay in your lane. You'll be handed someone who's constantly making jabs at you on the internet, you know, like some indirect jabs, or you'll have a friend who's throwing backhanded comments, and it's like, how come this is happening? Maybe if I didn't handle my energy, this wouldn't be happening. Remember, we are not given this path, this knowledge, these downloads to go spread them and gain credibility for it. We are meant to heal ourselves. Our energy is healing. When we do the work, other people do the work around us, especially if they want to stay connected to us, especially if they see we're consistently kind and persistent on our path. Sorry, I have a head cold, so I'm coughing a lot. I hope this made sense to you guys. Like, I hope it brought clarity to you, because the Leo moon, full moon, is today, and it brought up a lot of emotions, and things you are doing are triggering people too. Like, I noticed last night in the pre-shadow, I triggered people, and I decided, you know what, I do need to stay in my lane. Right, if I didn't act this way or say this, I probably wouldn't have had this happen. Just be mindful of your actions. Are you reacting? Are you responding? Or are you protecting your peace? Which one would you prefer? Yeah, I'm gonna have another video after this, and I just don't know what it is yet. I told Spirit to send me ideas for this one. A big one was spiritual ego, and it's been on my mind a lot lately. I hope this helped you have a little bit of clarity and put you back into who you really are and how we need to clear our mindsets, okay? I know it's exciting when we get, like, when we notice the connection and when we see, oh my god, yeah, I have some awareness and I can share it. But you're gonna hurt yourself, and just yourself, because you're gonna attract people who want to correct you. You're gonna attract people who think they know more than you. You're gonna attract people who want to know how you know this stuff, and they're gonna copy you, okay? Be very careful. Don't put yourself out there if you are not ready to deal with the consequences that come with putting yourself out there. Even if, I don't know, you can do whatever you want with it, but I just want you guys to find a peaceful state of mind in your natural state of balance, because I find I end up handing out a lot of information to people, and it irritates the fuck out of me when they go practice it and they're not nice. There's one specific person who inspired me to do this, and I'm not connected to her anymore, but I notice I'm being handed people who are taking the things I say and resharing it in their personal lives, in their work settings, stuff like this. And this isn't a direct target to anyone. This is a reminder for us that this is what happens when we hand out our authentic selves to people too openly. Oversharing is disturbing your peace. Try and remember that. Oversharing is disturbing your peace. Your advice is oversharing. Your mindfulness and intuitive way of thinking is someone else's key to profit. Does that make sense? It's their key to attention. Especially if you see them operating in ego. You handing them this advice gives them means to get angry, ignore you, and trash you, or copy you, right? So, this is how you gotta protect your peace. I don't know who needed to hear this, but I hope it helps. Bye, guys.